Brad, what's the reason for the Gabriel Carlson recall?
If they're going up to Canada, if we ever had an issue or something happened, it's tough to get, with immigration now. We just want to make sure we're protected.
Okay, so is your thought to play?
He's not playing tonight. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Werenski's okay, good to go?
He's good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Lars, how important is it to respond to an effort you weren't happy with the other night and not get 2 or 3 of those in a row and get things going back in the right direction?
Yeah, just you want a response. We didn't have our legs, and everybody felt it. All the players, who knows why. Again, we've talked about it. We've moved by it. We've addressed it. We've done our video. We gave them some things I think that could help them, and I expect a better game tonight.
Jack referenced yesterday they may have not given Detroit its due going into that game. Don't see that being a problem with a couple of big Metro games coming up here, right?
Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't be respecting any team. Like, who are we? So if that's what he said, I never heard it. You're telling me that. That's certainly the wrong mindset to go into any game. I don't think there's any opponent we should be overlooking, and I think there's one in front of us tonight that we certainly will open your eyes real quick if you're not ready.
Brad, last year, maybe a little bit the year before, but definitely last year and then this on Tuesday, there's points where the puck gets into your guys' end of the ice and just it can't come out. You guys are struggling to get it out, and the other teams are really forechecking hard. When you guys are looking at those situations on videos and studying them, like what's going on, like what are some of the common things that are leading to that, and what kind of things can you guys do to prevent that? Yeah,
well, as far as zone time, it was about a couple minutes difference, which is not what you want. We want to be on the other side of that. Game 1 against Arizona, it was 8 minutes difference. They were in Arizona. So, and that's the game we won 8-2. So we addressed that. It was much better against Seattle. It was more of an even battle. But the keys in the defensive zone are quite simple. You get it, you got to get it stopped. And if we don't get it stopped, that's when everybody's active. It's not like we're reinventing the wheel, activating our D. When you get possession and start climbing up the wall, all the teams do it. So the quicker you can get the structure and shut it down, win that one-on-one battle, and that's the competitiveness we're talking about, is you got to get into the body, you got to get it stopped, because that's your best chance to I guess, finish their ozone play and get on the offense.
So any lineup changes / goalie tonight? Which goalie? I know you're using one.
Elvis is going in tonight. I'm going to use one tonight, yes.
No other lineup changes?
I'm going to be very consistent in that. No, everything else same.
Just quickly going back to what we were talking about before, is it also a numbers game? Are you seeing more of their D maybe coming down into the offensive zone deeper than what maybe some teams would do on a forecheck?
It depends. I mean, you saw 2 different styles between what Seattle was doing and then the 2 other opponents we faced. They're very aggressive. Their D are pressed down all the time, and Seattle, they pull their D back. So, this is information we're always giving our guys and trying to work through it and giving them solutions to get out of it. But you got to make plays under pressure. That's the NHL. They're skating guys. They're D. They try to set their gaps early, and so the number one thing is arriving on time, making sure we got our legs, and honestly, the best way to defend is get down in their zone and forecheck better.
Right, I can't imagine Cole Sillinger has been out of a game for as long as he was the other night before. Do you talk to him after a game like that, and what do you think his attitude, his feelings will be heading into tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask Cole on that if he. And again, it looks like he got sat for the whole third. There was 3 or 4 times he was up, ready to go. You got one small shift there, and then there comes a point where you're going, if I put him out, now he's a liability to himself, and you kind of seize up. I've been in that role, and it's really hard to get in there. So the situation in the game, that's how it was. I made some adjustments on lines. Cole and I had a great talk yesterday about it. And again, I'm not going to get into it, but this is where he's a really mature kid. He understands where he was at in the game. And the best thing I liked about it, what I'll take away and I'll share, is that he's moved by it. He understood. He's moved by it, and he can't wait to play tonight.
Kind of going back to the blue line with Gavrikov, how nice is it to have a guy? I mean, I know that all those changes that happened left you guys with took a lot of experience away, I guess is one way to put it. Mm-hmm. How nice is it to have him? It's only his 3rd year, but to have a guy like that kind of be steady when you have Bean and you have Boquist and guys like that to play with him.
Yeah, I rely on him a lot. you know, when he played with Savvy, I called him the octopus, and the other guy was a lumberjack. He's like got tentacles. He seems to get a hand on a guy and they don't move. He's the one guy who's really good at closing plays out. He's a very strong man. I think he's 25, and he looks like he's about 33, 34, you know, and he plays that way. He's kind of got an old soul about him, the way he does it, but that's how he approaches the game. He understands the importance of that part of it. He's a really heavy body down below the hash marks. So in a short time, he's become a very important piece to our team and what he brings and the style that he plays. And he can skate. He's another thing. He's up in the play a lot, and we encourage that with him. He's got fairly good instincts on when to go and when not to. So he's going to be a real important guy for us going forward. There's no question.
Brad, Boone played the minutes of a number one defenseman in the last game. Big minutes for a forward, especially in regulation. I know he can handle that stuff, but how when you see that number, safe to say you can't be up that high with him on a nightly basis?
It's too much, and it's for all the reasons he's on the ice. It's because it's a tight game. He's good in faceoffs. He can kill penalties. He's net front on our first unit power play. We had 4 opportunities, so it's like the minutes piled up real quickly on him, and you try to divvy them out, but then again, you're reading the game and what's going on in the situation of the game, and he's one of those guys that's, he can be reliable in a lot of different situations. So, you don't want it up that high. I don't think he's as effective when it gets that high. I don't think many forwards are. That's just too many minutes. So, hopefully we're not in that situation where we have to do that too much.